Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Project Spark Beta for the meantime, up until October when it is released. So Project Spark's a new game only on Xbox One, I believe, and it's pretty much showing you what the Xbox One can do. So I'm going to start off with simply creating a world, and bit by bit we're going to go through creating literally everything, and just how you do everything, to be honest. So what you want to do is go on an empty world. This is kind of a tutorial, kind of a walkthrough, and kind of showing you what I'm doing at the same time. So it's if you want to build your own world, you can watch me do mine, and then you can copy bits. If you just want to see me build my world, that's also fine. Right, we're back starting with a new world now, after that one went entirely wrong. So, push A, get onto nature, move the camera there, zoom out, and we are going to do the edges of our world. Just go around the edge to begin with, and then we'll fill in everywhere else. Obviously trees will pop up because that is kind of the nature theme. And yes, you can make the world bigger with the add subtractional tool. If you want to make the world bigger, if I was you, I'd do it at the start. Or you can of course go to the world wizard, and that will kind of help create the starting bits of the world for you. So using X and Y to move your camera up and down, your pointer thingy, I'm just going to go around making the whole world nature, because for the meantime we only have nature and river and arrays as our options in the beta up until October, when the full game. Very much looking forward to that. So, here, back across here. Make sure you get all of these grey bits, otherwise when you're doing other bits later on and you haven't filled everywhere in, it's going to look horrible, your creation. Almost done. And last little bit, making sure you've got all of the space with this nature. And there we are. So everywhere is filled in with our nature, and we have our island, as you can see. So it's just pretty simple. Trees, pretty circular, just pretty boring at the moment, to be honest. Now here's a nice little area for a little beach, so we'll do something with that later on. And next, to finish off this video, we're going to get to river. So with the river tool, you can be as high up as you want, and it will still affect the land below you. So you know, I like to get a reasonable distance, and I want to make the scale slightly smaller. You don't want big rivers. So if we take it down to about 15%, and pushing and holding right trigger is what you're going to do, is you're going to go through one long flow. Not, you know, ever stopping and moving it left to right, just one continuous flow around the island. Now as you can see here, we've got a simple river going up, you know, up and out and in and around, etc. Just one river simply from one side to the other, right? And as it finishes here, first of all what I'm going to do is going to finish this area up. Now of course it could finish here. So, you know, as time goes by, it's going to have ended up eroding this area. So, you know, just kind of think of little things like that where you can make it seem a little bit more realistic, or, you know, just things like that. So, you know, it's going to end up as a pretty big pool, in my opinion. Just around there, making it as smooth as you can. There, now I think that's, you know, it's a pretty good job so far. However, well, it's a bit boring really. So next, what you want to do is, you don't want to use the erase tool. However, I'm quickly going to go on to add and edit props and remove that tree. I will show you things like this in other videos. So we've got our main river, and it's all one size, which is pretty boring. So either when you're going along the river you can change the scale, or what I'm going to do now is go down to about 0% really, and just very lightly holding the right trigger. Just kind of go through like that, you know, coming off and not completely finishing. Now maybe start off at about 3%, come through, down to about 2%, and then down to 0, and just kind of, you know, finish off the rivers here and there. But then of course you may simply have, you know, the odd river that's fairly big and that will finish up at the end of the island. So I feel that, you know, your good world needs at least your nature and river side of things. So that's kind of how, for the meantime, I have created the world. However, it's flat, it's boring, and it's way too smooth. So this is where our roughen tool. So pushing A to then pick your tool, you're going to come down to the sculpt area, and you're going to go on push A on the smooth and roughen. Now using X and Y to move your camera up and down, you're going to hold RB and move the right stick all the way to the right until your scale's at 100%, because we want to do this really as quick as possible. Now it's left trigger to roughen an area and right trigger to smooth out an area. So I'm going to have the shape circular, and the intensity you want to turn down to about 20%, usually works fine. So first of all I'm going to do a bit with this river. So a tapping or holding left trigger, I'm just going to kind of go around the edges of this river bit here, and as you can see it is a very, very good tool. And I'm just actually going to go around the edge of the island first of all. You know, some places just a little bit needs doing, other places I might do a lot more. Just here I'm going to turn the intensity right up and just have a little effect around this area. You know, it makes the world look different, a bit unique, something that you're not going to see everywhere else. Now still going along here, remember of course if you make a mistake like that, and then you can hold right trigger to smooth the area back out. So just going around doing kind of the odd bits on the island. You don't have to do a lot, but you know, look, that just makes the tiniest difference, and it's going to make your world seem a lot more realistic when either your friends, you, or just other random guests online are going to be playing it. So I've got the intensity turned right down, and I just want to go over, kind of cover the vast majority of the island, possibly where the river is going from one side to the other. What I like to do is just about here, just push and hold left trigger the whole way and completely roughen the area. And if I just turn the intensity up slightly to speed things up, that's actually going to almost build a bridge and almost an obstruction in the river. However, it's still one continuous flow, and you can see where that has come from. Incorporate a tree nicely here. As you can see, that tree has now been completely surrounded by land, whereas the river still makes its way through with different ways of getting across from one side to the other. So, you know, here we've built our area, maybe make it not as high as I've made it, not as big, not as small, etc, etc. Now I'm just going to go through the river, roughening pretty much that whole area to make the areas of the river seem better. And there we are. So what we've done really is just kind of built our world. We've got some rough areas, we've got some smooth areas, and we've kind of kept it all at one level for the meantime, which isn't a bad thing. However, in the next video and videos to come after that, I will be, you know, changing around the different parts of the world. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you like the progress of my world so far for, you know, just about 11 minutes, and then I hope your world comes along just as well. Thanks for watching, comment, rate and subscribe.